We pick our character and we get right into it. Basically, you're looking at a tower defense game and Tetris if they had a baby. We get to place whatever towers we want essentially for the starting phase of the game, and we're trying to survive as long as we can. They will get exponentially harder and tankier as the world goes on. This video is to make a quick and comprehensive guide that can have anybody make the world record for this game. It's going to go over the most simple strategy that I think that we can manage that would allow anybody to make this possible. They just need the right constraints. You won't have to worry about your health, and you won't have to worry about knowing much about the game at all to be able to get the world record. This is meant to be accessible to basically anybody that wants to get their first world record. And this is for the leaderboard mode of Emberward. The game you're looking at is Emberward, a project made by a single person, and it features so many mechanics, so many relics, and stuff of whatnot, being the monsters that you'll find in it, to the talent tree, to all the other stuff that you'd find in the regular playthrough of the game. But since we're using the leaderboard mode, most of it you won't find here, so we're not going to go over too much. Stage after stage, after we survive, we're able to get some rewards to make us even more powerful. We basically try to make our path as long as we can and chuck as many towers that might do more damage to help us get further. Now, when we make this path, it is a lot better to make it more of a zigzag, like a snake pattern, and even if you make it slightly bigger to fit more towers, it's still fine. Now, for our overall strategy, there are basically 3 towers that we're mainly going to go over. The first one is the lava tower. It has the elemental effect that comes with all the fire towers in this game, that they're able to apply a burn. But this is one of the few towers in this game that can guarantee its status effect, always burning the target, which does their max health per second. Of course it caps, but it's still very useful regardless. It also does slow, and that, aside from its insane pierce, it is extremely useful, and because it has a no attack speed, if you pair it with stuff like Frostfire, which would normally reduce the attack speed, it's just a pure buff that you get for your benefit. Going on to the next one, the Thunder Tower. It is extremely useful as, even on its own, it can buff the crit rate for every tower attacking a certain target, and it is also the only tower in its category that can max out its status, which would do a ton of damage if you're able to get it off. And now that paired with one of these relics allows it to do 1,000 damage, which is what we're trying to look for in this run. Finally, our third but most important tower is the Drill Tower. Now, fundamentally, you're usually only going to be able to go through the track once, and so you have a finite amount of space that you can normally go through, as you only have so much space, and they'll eventually overrun you. But with the drill, we can block one path and force them to go down the other. And we can basically rinse and repeat this as long as we have enough coin to do so. Now here's the relic tier list, and here is the buff and nerf tier list. If you have any questions, feel free to just comment it, but mostly the ones at the top are going to really help out your run, either through damage or pure utility, or just making more money than anything else. That really helps us go on as long as possible. And now these buffs and nerfs, they do come intertwined with each other. They basically randomize each other, and you'll get them pooled with one on top and one on the bottom. Now we get into the meat and potatoes. So we're able to get 2 out of the 3 towers for this run, and we're on world record pace, but I took a reward for getting that. It would disable the drill tower, which kept us alive in the first place. So that's that gone. Not having enough damage early game setup also gets in the way if I get too greedy as another. I did another run, likely the best one that I've had all session, and in terms of towers and relics, I thought I'd try a glitch I found to see if it makes it easier for others to get the world record, but it ended up teleporting all the enemies straight into the campfire and ending the run. Other runs I had to throw away even if things went well, just because we would get our strongest towers, but if we didn't get the drill, our strategy would fall short early, and we only have 8 tower slots. So on my final run, I was able to get the drill second, followed by both of the towers that we needed. Anything else was pure extra. But I was able to get the shock relic, which we needed in the late game, to basically be a huge time saver all around. I almost messed up this run too though, because I forgot to set up the loop with all the monsters running to the shortest path. So while I was looking away, I almost died, but fortunately I was able to block it right before that happened. And I would have lost this run if I didn't get some health earlier from a chest, or just not doing the same thing in the first place. We get so far into the run where they don't have 10 health, not 100,000, or even 100,000, but over 1,000,000 health. Rounds get longer, and the more good damage towers you have, the less time it takes, but since I have the bare bones strategy, it takes basically an hour and a half of in-game time for one round at this point. After cleaning up the round, we're able to get the world record. I stopped from going any further because 1, it is quite late at this point, and as another, to leave more room for other people to get their world records too. Since that's the whole point of the video, I definitely think that with better towers and relics, you could go even further for another 5 or 10 rounds, especially tightening up the maze. But the further you go, I think you're going to lose more sanity, so take it as you will. But there you go. Hope it was helpful. See ya.